Wait, they made another one? In my last video on Nico Para, I forgot to mention some of the rewards past the initial goal of the Kickstarter, one of them being that a short animation will be made if the project gets $1 million goddamn dollars, and I wouldn't be here today if it didn't reach that amount. So it was suddenly out without warning, and I feel like I'll have a lot of fun making a video on this. Let's just jump straight into it. We're introduced to the characters once again, but it takes place before the events of the OVA, which I had no idea were the events of the first game. The whole cast is back, but somehow less annoying and just as bland, except younger. Apparently, the first game is only 6 months after the dude picks them up in that box, which makes it really weird when he fucks them in the game. And this OVA takes place a couple months after the adoption. How are they functioning this well? Like, no human or cat should already know how to speak, dress, and not shit itself by a couple months. Are they secretly chimera ants? Are chimera ants the secret to creating cat girls? Yes. The answer is yes. Some of the clear differences from the first OVA are that Tits McGee isn't Tits McGee yet, and the ice cream flavors are not legal yet. Also, for some reason, Azuki, the one they call Azunian, which is fucking heresy by the way, has a different voice actress for some reason. I'm not kidding! Check it out! How do you somehow sound older? It's a strange thing to see this happen after what was probably only a short amount of time. Maybe even less than a year. Why do you look so concerned? Did the sister's stern question ruin their mood or what? Is their master gonna die from a mild cold? What? What the fuck? Anyway, there's more cutesy moments that are as humorless as ever due to bland voice acting, horrible content in general, and direction flatter than these children. The jokes aren't delivered in ways that would actually make me laugh. Like this joke where Azuki complains about how Maple is always loud, but she was pretty relaxed throughout the whole scene, and when she does actually get fired up and where the animators wanted her to shout, she doesn't. Where's the passion? After eating rice the obviously superior Filipino way, it transitions to the next part of the show. So later, assuming the next night, this shit is really bad with screen transitions. It's so jarring in both OVAs that it takes a minute to figure out what the fuck is actually going on since the lighting doesn't ever change when it's nighttime. Main guy enters the room that has 2 sniffling children. They have abandonment issues and main guy reassures them with a very nice ass. I love how they call it master just so the writers can jerk off the fetish crowd because the only people who would say that have Stockholm Syndrome or are whores. Anyway, this story arc concluded in like 9 minutes, which is lightning fast. It was first introduced when the sister asked the cats if they slept well, and it ends with this scene. The characters resolve it in like 4 sentences and there is no real emotion because whatever, cute cat girls. This is worth $1 million, right? Thank you, this transition actually gives me the information I need. It's daytime, which is the next day. What comes after is very stupid though. They talk about wetting their bed for like 3 minutes in this thankfully 20-minute OVA. The hilarious joke is that the kittens wet their bed when they're happy, so they should pee their bed, and everyone else gets embarrassed when they reveal that they wet their bed before. Like I said, this comedy is boring because everyone has virtually the same reaction of either shouting or being flustered. It's weird how they crammed this scene into the OVA with little coherence to the rest of it. The only connection is that it's the next day and they are happy now. The guy responsible for pacing this thought it would be cool to have this completely separate thing that makes no sense, but he probably got a cut of the million, so whatever. And now it's Christmas! Even the characters think it's crazy how fast the pace is. I find it funny that they knew the last OVA was too drawn out and agonizingly slow, so their answer to that problem is to make this one go at a supersonic rate. No. Okay, so whatever. An interesting thing that they mention is that the cat girls grow up super fast like I said previously. So does that mean they get really fucking old fast? That could have potential for a story similar to Plastic Memories. Actually, that would be a horrible idea, especially since it would be even more crappy than Plastic Memories is. I'm really glad these writers would rather stick to these candy-colored euphoric stories because they had already attempted the sad stuff and it sucked. So they have a Christmas party or whatever, and they go outside to see the snow. Yes, I love fist bumping snow too. And that's it. There wasn't enough stuff to complain about because the Kickstarter was the part I had the most gripes about, and I covered that pretty extensively in the previous video. This OVA was relatively inoffensive compared to the last one, so I don't really have much to say. Anyway, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and subscribe, like, do whatever you want. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.